Let me tell you something that might sound strange coming from a heart surgeon. The greatest threat to your heart is not always the food on your plate or the number on your blood pressure monitor. It's not just the cigarettes you quit years ago or the cholesterol readings you memorize like scripture. No. Sometimes, the most dangerous thing a person over 60 can do is simply nothing. Yes, nothing. It's the habit of neglect. Of quietly ignoring your body's whispers until they become screams. Of letting each day pass without movement, without attention, without change. And this isn't about guilt or blame. It's about something more sacred. Because your heart, right now, this very second, is fighting for you. Without pause. Without rest. And it's not asking for perfection. It's asking for presence. For just one change. That's why I'm here today, not as a doctor behind a desk, not as a voice on a screen, but as someone who has looked into the eyes of too many people who said, if only I had known sooner. So please, listen as if your life depends on it, because it does. I've operated on thousands of hearts. I've seen the tissue harden like stone, arteries filled with silent killers, and rhythms go wild like storms with no warning. And more often than not, these were not the results of bad luck, but bad habits, small ones, repeated daily. Tiny choices that slowly but surely broke the heart from the inside out. And the one habit, the most common, the most overlooked, and the most dangerous is this. Ignoring the signals your heart is begging you to hear. When you stop paying attention, when you normalize fatigue, dizziness, swelling, snoring, or even just slowing down with age, you give disease a head start. You give high blood pressure a blank check. You give inflammation permission to attack. Let me tell you the story of Mr. Howard. A retired teacher, 72, gentle and wise, loved chess, jazz, and gardening. He came to my office not because he felt chest pain, but because his wife insisted. He just doesn't have the energy he used to, she said. He naps after breakfast. He forgets where he parks. He's slower going up the stairs. Howard, like many, brushed it off. Doctor, he smiled, I'm just getting old. But his EKG told another story. His arteries had narrowed. His heart's ejection fraction, a measure of how much blood the heart pumps with each beat, was dangerously low. His body was sending signals. His heart was speaking in symptoms. But he wasn't listening. And that's the habit I'm begging you to break today. The habit of silence. Of brushing things off. Of saying it's just age instead of asking, what's really going on? Because aging is not the same as declining. You can get older without getting weaker. You can grow in years without surrendering your strength. But only if you stop ignoring your body. Start by tuning into your breath. Is it shallow when you walk? Are your ankles swollen by evening? Do you snore at night or wake up gasping? These are not quirks of age. They are red flags. And just as damaging is the habit of sitting still. The quiet erosion of your cardiovascular system begins the moment you stop moving. Your blood flow slows. Your vessels lose their elasticity. Plaque settles in. I've had patients tell me they only walk from the couch to the kitchen and back. That's not living, that's waiting. Your heart is a muscle. And like any muscle, it weakens without use. A brisk walk for 20 minutes a day, 5 days a week, do you know what that does? It slashes your risk of heart disease by nearly 50%. It improves your mood. It stabilizes blood sugar. It strengthens your immune system. And most importantly, it signals to your body, I still care. Movement is not about youth. It's about longevity. It's about telling your heart, your joints, your lungs, you're still needed. And let's talk about food. Not in a preachy, never eat this again way. But in a way that honors the sacred connection between what you eat and how your heart beats. When you start your day with processed breakfast meats, sugary cereals, or fried foods, your blood turns thick. Your vessels constrict. Your inflammation spikes. You are handing your heart a burden instead of a gift. I've reviewed the angiograms of patients whose arteries were nearly blocked after decades of poor diet, and they were shocked. But I eat the same things I've always eaten, they'd say. Exactly. That's the problem. What worked at 40 becomes deadly at 70. Your metabolism changes. Your digestion slows. Your heart becomes more vulnerable. But that also means your body becomes more responsive to healing. Switch your morning plate from sausage and white toast to oatmeal with flax seeds and blueberries. Add a handful of walnuts. Pour a glass of water with lemon. Small changes, big difference. That's how you shift the odds. Because every bite you take either feeds disease or fuels health. And please, don't fall for the myth that a little salt won't hurt. If you're over 60, your kidneys are less efficient. Sodium lingers longer. It raises your blood pressure in silence, and over years, it stiffens your arteries until they can no longer expand. A patient once told me, "Doctor, I don't even add salt to my food." But his blood pressure was sky high. Why? Because it wasn't the salt shaker, it was the packaged bread, the canned soups, the frozen meals, the processed snacks. Hidden salt, hiding in plain sight. Start reading labels. Look for sodium under 140 milligrams per serving. Cook at home more. Use herbs, garlic, rosemary, turmeric. These don't just flavor your food. They reduce inflammation. They protect your vessels. They keep your blood flowing clean. Your plate is your prescription. And your fork is the delivery system. And now, let's speak about something far too many seniors suffer with quietly: loneliness and bottled emotions. I cannot count the number of times I've sat with a patient whose heart was failing not because of food or lack of movement, but because of grief. Of emotional pain carried silently for years. Your heart is not just a pump. It is a responder. To joy. To loss. To isolation. Science backs this up. Emotional stress raises cortisol, adrenaline, and blood pressure. It disrupts your heart rhythm. It increases your risk of heart attacks. Especially if you keep it in. Your feelings need oxygen, just like your heart does. Cry if you must. Speak. Share. Call an old friend. Sit with someone. Don't lock your pain inside your chest, because that's where it will do the most damage. Now, let's move into the place where your heart does its deepest repair, not in the gym, not at the dinner table, but in your sleep. If movement is your heart's daytime medicine, sleep is its sacred nighttime healing. And yet, this is where I see so many seniors fall into a trap. They call it just getting older. Tossing, turning, waking up too early. Napping through the day, yet never truly feeling rested. But these aren't harmless signs of age. They're red alarms, telling you that your heart is not recovering like it should. If you snore loudly, if you wake up gasping, if your partner says you stop breathing at night, please don't brush it off. You might be living with sleep apnea, a condition where your airway closes repeatedly while you sleep, suffocating your body without you knowing it. Your heart is starving for oxygen when that happens. Every drop in oxygen is like a punch to the chest. Your blood pressure surges, your heartbeat becomes irregular, and your brain wakes up in a panic over and over again. This is why sleep apnea isn't just a nuisance. It's a deadly, silent force. And here's what breaks my heart: most seniors with sleep apnea never get diagnosed. They think it's just snoring. Or worse, they live alone, and no one hears the gasping in the dark. But if you wake up feeling groggy, with headaches, memory fog, or even leg swelling, get tested. A simple sleep study can uncover a hidden danger. And the treatment? Often a small mask or a mouthpiece. Gentle, silent, and life-saving. You don't have to live exhausted. Your heart doesn't have to work overtime in the shadows of night. Because while you sleep, your body resets hormones, lowers inflammation, regulates blood sugar, and heals the very vessels that keep your heart alive. Don't rob yourself of that healing. Prioritize sleep like it's surgery, because for your heart, it truly is. Now let's talk about something that might seem small, but makes all the difference: your vitamins. Yes, that humble little pill on your kitchen counter matters more than you think. Especially if you're over 60. Because as we age, our absorption of key nutrients declines. And some deficiencies can quietly weaken your heart, your muscles, even your brain. Vitamin D, for instance. It's not just a bone vitamin. It plays a critical role in blood pressure regulation, immune defense, and inflammation control. Without enough vitamin D, your arteries stiffen, your heart weakens, and your risk of atrial fibrillation rises. Magnesium, another silent hero. It helps regulate your heartbeat, control your blood sugar, and keep your blood vessels relaxed. But most seniors are chronically low on it thanks to processed foods, certain medications, and age-related malabsorption. Coenzyme Q10, a compound your body makes less of as you age, but one your heart depends on for energy. If you're taking statins to lower cholesterol, your CoQ10 levels might already be depleted, leaving your heart tired and vulnerable. These aren't optional. These are lifelines. But they work best when combined with real food, leafy greens, nuts, seeds, fish, berries, and whole grains. Your supplements should support your lifestyle, not replace it. Ask your doctor. Get your levels checked. Don't guess, test. And don't wait for deficiency symptoms to appear. Because by then, damage may already be done. Let me tell you about Marlene. She was 78 when she came to me, always tired, always short of breath, struggling to climb a single flight of stairs. Her heart tests came back fine, but her labs revealed a profound vitamin D deficiency. Within 3 months of correcting it, along with mild magnesium and CoQ10, she called me, beaming, "Doctor, I went dancing again." These are not miracle pills. They are the missing puzzle pieces in a body trying to hold on. And your heart needs every piece to beat in harmony. But we can't talk about heart health without talking about inflammation, the fire beneath almost every chronic disease of aging. And what fuels this fire? Sugary snacks, fried food, sedentary days, chronic stress, poor sleep, and even loneliness. Inflammation is not just about what you eat, it's about how you live. When your body is inflamed, your blood vessels swell. Your arteries get injured. Plaque builds up faster. Blood becomes stickier. Clots form. Your immune system, meant to protect you, starts attacking you. That's why heart disease, arthritis, memory loss, and even depression often show up together. They're all branches of the same burning tree. But here's the hopeful part: inflammation is reversible. You can put out the fire. Start with anti-inflammatory foods: turmeric, ginger, berries, olive oil, wild salmon, leafy greens. Drink green tea. Cut out refined sugar, especially in processed cereals, juices, and desserts marketed toward seniors. These foods are not harmless treats. They are ticking time bombs. And don't underestimate hydration. Water flushes out toxins, keeps your blood thin and flowing, and helps every cell in your body function smoothly. Even mild dehydration thickens your blood and stresses your heart. Drink consistently. Not just when you're thirsty. Keep a water bottle with you. Make it a ritual of care. And finally, perhaps the most overlooked and the most crucial part of all, the medication consistency. I've seen more lives endangered not by heart disease itself, but by the silent decision to skip a pill. To take a break. To see how it goes. Blood pressure meds. Cholesterol meds. Heart rhythm stabilizers. These are not optional. They are the bridges that hold your heart steady while your lifestyle works to rebuild it. Skipping even a few days can cause a rebound spike in pressure. It can trigger heart arrhythmias. It can undo months of progress. If you're forgetting, use a pill organizer. Set alarms. Ask a loved one to check in. And if a medication makes you feel unwell, don't stop it, talk to your doctor and find an alternative. There are always options, but only if you stay engaged. Because the worst habit, the one I beg you to stop, is disconnecting from your own care. Don't leave your heart's fate to chance. Don't let apathy win. Don't hand disease the keys to your future. Reconnect. Recommit. Reclaim your role in your own healing. Because your heart has never once given up on you. Isn't it time you returned the favor? Now, if you've made it this far, I want you to hear something from me, not as your doctor, but as a human being who has spent decades watching life at its most fragile. I have stood at bedsides as monitors flatlined. I have witnessed families weep in hallways over hearts that gave out too soon. And I have listened to the final words of men and women who would have given anything, for just one more healthy year. And do you know what they say? They don't say, "I wish I'd worked more." They don't say, "I wish I had bought more things." They say, "I wish I had taken better care of myself. I wish I had started sooner." That one habit I'm begging you to stop, it's the habit of postponing your life. Of saying, "I'll start walking next week. I'll fix my diet after the holidays. I'll see the doctor when it gets worse. I'll sleep more when I have time. I'll quit salt when it starts hurting. I'll talk to someone when I'm ready." But my dear friend, after 60, your heart doesn't wait. Your body is not on pause. Every cell is still aging. Every vessel is still changing. Every beat is still a chance or a warning. So what I'm really asking you to stop is the habit of delay. You don't need to overhaul your entire life tonight. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to begin. Start with one 10-minute walk. Start with one meal cooked with care. Start with one night of better sleep. Start with one conversation about your emotions. Start with one glass of water. One pill taken on time. One breath of gratitude for the heart still beating inside you. You are not too old. You are not too late. You are not broken. Your heart is not giving up, it is calling out. You've survived so much. You've worked hard, raised families, endured losses, and weathered decades of life's storms. You deserve the joy of aging with strength, not fear. With clarity, not confusion. With dignity, not decline. But you have to choose it. You have to protect it. Because no one else will do it for you. I want to leave you with something I tell my patients when they look scared. When they ask, "Is it too late for me?" I say, it's never too late to send your heart a message of love. Because every healthy meal is a message. Every walk is a message. Every laugh with a friend, every night of full sleep, every pill you take, every glass of water, every moment of peace, it's all a message. A message that says, I want to live. I want to be here. I still matter. I'm not done yet. And trust me, your heart hears every single one. There's a story I remember of Mrs. Thompson, age 84. Widowed, quiet, a retired librarian who spent most of her days reading in silence. She came to me after fainting one morning. Her labs were a mess. Her pressure was sky high. She was eating canned soup every day and hadn't walked more than 5 minutes in years. She told me, "Doctor, I think I'm just waiting out my time." And I said, "No, Mrs. Thompson. You're not done writing chapters yet. And this next one is up to you." She made one promise, to walk to her mailbox and back every day. Then she started preparing one fresh meal a day. Then she joined a local book club. Then she called her son. Then her blood pressure dropped. Her strength came back. Her eyes lit up. 6 months later, she walked into my clinic, not just alive, but radiant. She had rewritten her story. And so can you. This is not a lecture. This is a lifeline. This is not a warning. It's a wake-up. This is not just about heart disease. It's about the life force inside you and how to keep it burning. So if you're still watching, still listening, still breathing, then you still have time. Time to act. Time to heal. Time to live. Here's what I want you to do today. Not tomorrow. Not next week. Today. Stand up. Stretch. Walk to the window. Breathe in deeply. Your lungs, your blood, your brain, they all rejoice when you move. Open your fridge. Remove one thing that no longer serves your heart. Replace it with one thing that does. A lemon. A handful of spinach. A bottle of water. Take your medicine. On time. Every time. It's not a chore, it's a gift. Call someone. A friend. A daughter. A neighbor. Say something kind. Say something real. Go to sleep tonight like you mean it. Turn off the TV. Put down the phone. Dim the lights. Give your body a full night of peace. And finally, forgive yourself. For the years you didn't know. For the meals you regret. For the signs you missed. For the care you didn't give yourself when you needed it most. Let it go. You are here now. You are learning now. You are choosing now. Your heart is listening now. And so am I. If no one has told you today, you are not alone in this. And if you ever need a guide, a reminder, a voice in the dark telling you to keep going, come back here. Listen again. This message was made for you. You've given your heart to others your whole life. To your children. To your partner. To your work. To the world. Now, it's time to give it back to yourself. This is your moment. This is your story. And your heart? It's ready to keep writing it. One step at a time. One beat at a time. And if you take care of it, it will carry you farther than you ever imagined. So please, stop the habit of waiting. Start the habit of honoring. Because your heart is still fighting for you. Now fight for it. Before you go, if this message speaks to your heart, don't let it end here. Tap subscribe now to stay with us, because your journey to strength, peace, and healing is just beginning. Leave a comment below, tell me, what habit are you letting go of today? I read every word. And I'm listening. Because aging isn't about fading. It's about rising, with wisdom, with grace, and with purpose. Your next chapter starts now. Let's walk it together.